When I say do the work, it means clearing programming. That's basically it. Doing the work is seeing your unconscious programs, seeing what you're creating, why you're being triggered when you're being triggered, your own patterns, your own sense of reality, your own perception, and focusing on your thoughts in the moment, your emotions that come up. So that's doing the work. That's what that means. And trusting in yourself, having faith within yourself, having an internal knowing, because we've been stuck in the opposite way of manifesting, where we think we have to see something in order to know that it exists, when really it's the opposite. When we know it exists, then we experience it and we see it, because we're creating it in the first place and we're projecting into the reality. So doing the work is clearing any thoughts that are blocking you from manifesting consciously, staying out of unconscious patterns, clearing the negative programming, like Melissa said. Really just staying in the moment. Anything that comes up, try and figure out why you're feeling that, what's triggering it, if it's a negative emotion or if it's a trigger, something that doesn't feel good. And the more you keep focusing on that thing, like that release of certain unconscious programs and patterns, you basically just, it's almost as if it dissolves and you don't really even have to put any attention there to not experience that anymore. It kind of just goes away. So it's through repetition. Yes, no scary movies, that's a good thing. No scary movies, no lower vibrational music. People that are stuck in a lower vibration all the time, the news, the media, those things. Hearing those things, the unconscious mind. So if you have someone that sleeps with the TV on, they're programming themselves through their unconscious, which is deep within the subconscious mind. It's creating imprints. It's creating a new program. So making sure that you're not programming yourself, and if you are, you're programming with the right stuff. The meditation started around 30 minutes into this. And will our high vibration bring up anyone who's around us? Yes, it will. It will trigger them at first. For many people, it will trigger them and then it will bring them up. But they can become almost like vampiric in ways where they need to feed off your energy at times. It really depends on where you're at. If you're at a place where you can give that high vibration, you can still feel good, you can still hold that vibration without taking on their lower energy and being like imbalanced by it, then keep being around them to bring them up. But if it's draining you, then pay attention to that. But everyone will be awake. Everyone, it's like a ripple effect. So one person awakens, it shifts the energy, it triggers other people to awaken. So everyone will be awakening everyone. Love you too, Jason Atkinson. Let me see. Yeah, some people, if they feel like really drawn to you because they're in a lower energy, they're basically unconsciously being pulled to you so they can get an energy charge from you, so they can get an energy boost from you. So you have to pay attention to how you feel after connecting with certain people. Because if it starts creating an imbalance in your energy, then you have to detach a little bit. Let's see. But some people, like, if I know someone's really struggling, even though I can feel their energy and it kind of brings me down, I still just, if I have to, like, be wiped out for a day, then I'll do it just to bring their energy up. Because I know it's hard when people are going through huge shifts in their life. So if you're able to do that, then do it. Not to the point where it's depleting you all the time, but you mean it. Oh, it's so funny. Who does that for you? Anyone, if they're having like a really hard time and I know they're struggling, I don't mind giving my energy, even if it kind of makes me take on some of their emotions. I don't mind doing that, but not all the time because it will make you completely wiped out. Because there are some people that are dealing with like massive clearing of lineage with attachments that are very, very difficult to get rid of. There are people that are dealing with addictions and just a lot of tough, lower vibrational energy. And there's so many too right now that are going through the dark night of the soul, and they don't even know that that's what they're going through. So some of them have had an activation, not a full awakening, but an activation, and now they're going through the dark night of the soul, and they don't even know what it is or what's happening to them. If that's your son, try and send them as much love as you can, as much healing energy as you can. Best thing you can do is just send love. Feel love for them. Picture them as living their best life, like living in the way that you would love to see them live. Try not to picture them in the state that they're in if they're struggling right now. So you're not like helping to create more of that. I was just reading a comment. If you have family that's like not awake or into any of this stuff, you just have to focus on your path. Eventually, everyone's going to be more aware than they are right now. It just really depends on what people have chosen for this life. Not everyone's going to wake up. Everyone is ascending or uplifting to a higher vibration, but not everyone is going to wake up in consciousness at the same level. Some have chosen to live a very like physical third dimensional life because they've come here to accomplish certain things, experience things in only a certain way. This is why like understanding your natal chart is really good, because then you can really understand what the soul is pushing you to do, like, or the psyche, I should say, is pushing you to do, like your north node. Yeah, if you have a parent that's struggling, like my dad struggles with alcohol, and you can see like a lot of them deal with possessions, they deal with like attachments because their vibration is so low, they don't have any protection. So you can feel the lower vibration, and it's really sad, but disconnecting and detaching can only send them love. And a lot of us are brought into those, like we've chosen to go through that dynamic with a family member or a partner. Yep, we chose our parents. Well, I know my dad's been drinking my entire life and still is, so I don't think that's gonna change. Even with this shift, this awakening, I still don't think it's gonna change. So some people you just have to like accept that that's the way it is. And you can't force them to awaken either. Let me see. Do we still live in the same 3D world as everyone else living in 5D? We don't disappear. I don't think we disappear. I think we are existing in the same like experience, but we're in different perception, different realms. So we're seeing it completely different. Like one person can think they're at a party and the other person can think they're at a riot. It really depends on how they're viewing things, how they're perceiving it. So I believe that the fifth dimension, third dimension, we're all coexisting, but some are experiencing it in a way that is high vibrational, and then others it's a low vibration. All perception. So I used to think that the fifth dimension was a place and we were leaving to get there, and I was really sad because I kept thinking like I'm not going to be taking these people with me, they're not going to make it to 5D, when really they're just going to not be as prominent in your life anymore. They're just not going to be as active in your life. It's almost like when you have friends and they fade away because you started going in different directions. That's just very similar to what it's like. Yep, the fifth dimension is here. It's now. We're all able to experience it any second, any moment. It's an emotion, it's gratitude, it's unity. It's when you feel in full alignment. In that moment, that's what the fifth dimension is. So you can shift in and out of dimensions, in and out of that level of consciousness based off of your frequency, because it's always changing. And the more you're holding that state of awareness and trying to stay in alignment, that's what you're anchoring for you to physically manifest and experience. So if you're holding the lower thoughts, lower emotions the majority of the time, then that's what you're going to experience in the physical. And the more you start holding thoughts of alignment, gratitude, staying out of duality, staying out of judgment with other people, then you start experiencing a higher vibrational reality and the things that you want to experience.